Hey everybody, I am really looking forward to our project for the next 6 or 7 weeks because we're going to be producing an actual broadcast. Back in California, I have been doing this every day with my students who range in age from 12 to 18. Our broadcast is actually live on YouTube.
Good morning, Carlsbad. It is Wednesday, January 11th, and we have a great show planned for you guys today.
And we produce one every single day. We have an audience of about 3,000 people watching live. But with this project, our first broadcast, we'll pre-record the segments and we can edit them all together to make one complete show. Here's what we're going to need. We need the following. We need 2 presenters. We need at least 2 people who will be reporters. You will go out and find stories. I'll help you. Your story will be something that you're interested in. We don't produce stories about things or places, but we do produce stories about people doing interesting and amazing things. We'll need to do some kind of weather forecast using a green screen. We can go into the city center to do what we call a man in the street, should be called person in the street segment, where we ask a bunch of people the same question. Like if we do a story about AI, and we'll talk about that in a moment, we could ask people in Carter Center whether they find AI scary, threatening, or could it be a really good thing. We can do a virtual production skit where using a green screen we make it look like we're in a spaceship or a western town or London back in the 1800s. All of what you're watching, by the way, right now was filmed on a green screen in my classroom in my studio back in California. It's got to be honest, it's going to be a challenge to do this in 6 sessions, and we may need to shoot a few stories on a weekend, but this will be Cardiff Youth Services' first broadcast. So where do we begin? Well, tonight we need to figure out a name for our broadcast. Got to give it a clever name. We need to come up with some story ideas so that I can spend the next week trying to line these stories up for you guys. Ed and I will need everyone to work behind the camera, but we do need to determine who would like to be on camera as presenters, doing the weather forecast, maybe acting in the virtual production skit, the person in the street interview. We will need people to go out and be in front of the camera. Now, for the person on the street, you may not need to be on camera, but it would be fun to say, put yourself on camera for a couple seconds. Once we've figured all this out, tonight we can try some practice green screen. We can do some practice interviews. We can play the game, which is fun and challenging. And if we have time, we can take a look at AI or artificial intelligence. So this is going to be really cool. Let's just get it going.